Okay, just a quick overview on how to modify settings on this. So right here you can see our volts 14.3, 3.53 to 3.6. Let's go into battery state, check this out, and so you can see these cells are 3.59. That cell's a little bit low. What is that, like 70 thousandths low? So it's going to try to balance it. So what we want to do is we want to go make sure, go into parameter settings. Alright, right now it's on charge balance. It's incorrect. That needs to go to static balance. And then also, back, come up here, change the overvoltage limit to 3.9. That's the maximum on these BMSs because they're set up for lithium iron phosphate, which doesn't really matter for the BMS because the BMS isn't really doing anything. It's not protecting the battery other than balancing. So right here, turning the charge balance on at 3.4, precision is 30 thousandths. So if we go back here, I'm sorry, we have to go down here and submit those changes. Okay, done. Now let's go back to battery state, battery voltage, and now we should see a B pop up. It should be balancing, I'm sorry, it should be balancing these 3.602 volts. Okay, 3.5. So let's go back to parameter settings. So it's back on static balance. Let's go to 3.3 and make that 0.2. Okay. Back. Submit. Battery state. Yep, so right now it's trying to balance this cell and then these two cells. Yeah, so it balanced that one. And so what it does is it pulls current for a little bit and stops, and now it's balancing these over here. It's balancing that one. So now you can see that the BMS is actually trying to actively balance the battery. And if the cells were within 20 thousandths, it would do absolutely nothing. It would just sit there and watch the cells, and it would just sit there and do nothing. So yeah, that's how you just set up the BMS to make sure it's doing what it's doing. It also gives you the temperature, and a lot of this stuff here, the nominal capacity, remaining capacity, none of this stuff works because none of the power is running through the BMS. The BMS is only being used for its balancing side and for its Bluetooth. I can't find BMSs that can handle 1,000 amps that don't cost huge sums of money. They just don't exist. And normally what this BMS is for is just to make sure that as you're charging and discharging, it's there just trying to balance the battery out. So you can go back into batteries. No, I did the wrong thing, sorry. Battery state. And yeah, it's just the generic information we were looking at a second ago. And it's balancing. And then this just gives you all the different errors that have popped up. If you do charge to 16 volts, you're going to get overvoltage. You're going to get overvoltage warnings because it's going to see that if you're at 16 volts, you're going to go to 4 volts a cell, and that's going to be higher than what the BMS likes to see. And all it's going to do is just give you an overvoltage. And what you're going to see, wrong battery, wrong button. What you're going to see is when you get to the home page, it's going to have a circle, a red circle with OV on it, which just stands for overvoltage, and that's just telling you that it's doing, that's what it's going to. Dashboard, there we go. So you'll see like a red OV up here for that. And you can also come over here, look at your voltage score, 79 out of 100, and that's because we're at 3.5 and 3.6. We're off by 70 thousandths. Yeah, the voltage uniformity, this is just little things that just grade your battery, and it doesn't mean a whole lot. It's just something to see. And again, just looking at this. So that's about it. If you have any questions, leave comments. Um, just seeing what this does down here. I forget. Apparently nothing. Oh yeah, and then you can see what's going on with the voltages over time. Again, this is just something that no one's going to look at. It just looks at something, and this is actually measuring your amp hour capacity, which doesn't mean anything. And yeah, remaining capacity. The current is always going to be 0 because there's no current running through the pack, and you have total voltage, which is right here at 14 volts, which you can't really see. Yeah, 14.17. And so it's trying to measure the capacity here, but it just has no idea what's going on, and the current's always 0. So, all right, thanks.